So in today's environment, you need to be flexible, you need to listen, and be able to pivot and change really fast. Belief, innovation, and resourcefulness will take you everywhere. Okay, this is gonna show my brilliance, Evan. You ready for the deep, wisdom-filled?
Here it comes.
Today's episode of Model to Masters is brought to you by TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy is your best friend on your road to YouTube success. I use it every day on my channel to get more views and subscribers, automate the boring tasks, and split test my thumbnails and titles. I've done over 3,800 split tests, which have led to results like taking this 5-year-old video that was getting 250 views a day, and just by changing the thumbnail, it blew up to 15,000 views per day. You can get started on TubeBuddy for free at tubebuddy.com/Evan. And now on to the show. Let's learn from the master, Dean Graziosi.
And there he is.
What's up, Evan? We tried this one other time and it didn't go so well. So I'm glad
man,
to be here.
how many times did I try? I was stressing out so much on that day trying to bring you in. It's like just kept crashing. Anyway, we're making it. It's happening. Welcome, man.
Good to see you, man. How you doing?
I'm good. How's Arizona? Everything I see in the news looks crazy.
I just stay in here. I'm in my house. Like, I feel like we have to hunker down. Yeah, Arizona's a little crazy, but you know, it's only crazy in little pockets. You know, it's great that Arizona looks like the party city of the world. All they show is B-roll of like people at the clubs and partying. And I think that's what did it. But we're all just adapting to the new norm. So what's up, man? It's good to see you. I see you all over the place. I see you hustling. I see you impacting lives, doing amazing stuff on YouTube. You know, dude, you are, and I want to share whatever works for, you know, your following, my following today. But I want to share, dude, your book, Built to Serve, you are built to serve. There's a difference when, you know, I've been an entrepreneur for over 30 years. I've been in the self-education industry for 24. Doesn't even seem possible. But there's a lot of people that when you kind of meet your heroes or you meet the people behind the book, a habits book, a Built to Serve book, a time management. It's like you meet the guy with the time management book and he's late getting on stage and stressed out of his mind in the green room. Like, there's no congruency is what I wanted to say. And before we chat today, I just want to honor you and give you congruency. What you wrote in this book is really who you are, man. You are built to serve. You reach out to my team all the time and want to help with YouTube and tell us what we're doing wrong. And you're not doing it because of finances. You're not doing it because you're trying to get an edge. You're doing it just because this is who you are, man. So I love seeing you out there. I love seeing you grow. I love seeing the impact you're making.
Cool, man. Appreciate it. I'm still working on accepting compliments. So I'll just say thank you.
Oh, then I'm going to keep doing it through this entire thing to make you feel uncomfortable.
Great. Classic Dean. All right, cool. Well, you know what? Also in that story, you know, you've been really helpful in getting that book out. I remember when I came to Puerto Rico and was trying to get feedback on pre-launch, you and Brendan Burchard took time backstage while you're doing your big event. People paid all this money to come there, and you took time over lunch for 40 minutes to do a deep dive on my strategy. And just super grateful that you guys did that. And you hooked me up with your warehouse and, you know, a whole bunch of things that Dean's a big reason why the book has got out there.
Just a little piece, man. Just what's up, everybody. I see the highs. So how can we deliver some value today? How do we help out? Besides, I do got to plug this. Like, if you didn't check out Evan's Built to Serve, you should check it out. The truth is, I'm not all the way done. I freaking love it. My biggest problem is every book I read, Evan, I listen. I have such a hard time reading. I still have dyslexia. It still doesn't stick. So it's taken me longer. But when I actually read a book, it sticks. So highly recommend it. And it's just you. It's like it's having a 200-page conversation with you, which is always cool.
Cool, man. Appreciate it. Well, I also have an audiobook version. I read it myself. So there's always.
Oh, dude, please send that to me. Dude, why are you torturing me with this? I mean, I love the words, but don't torture and make me read. I would have had this baby done weeks ago. So send me that.
Okay, we'll get you hooked up. Okay, so I thought it'd be cool. Actually, I just finished reading yours too. I'm a slow reader. Audio is even worse for me. But
that's the first book I ever did an audio on in my life. So.
Really?
Yeah.
I just finished it. I love it. There's a lot of stories in here. I mean, I've seen so much of your videos and so much of your content, but there's a lot of stories in here that I didn't know. Like, man, that's That's some cool stuff. I like it. So Underdog Advantage, guys, go check it out. I thought maybe we'd do some Q&A with the audience too, and
let's do it.
Get some takes here. So you got a question from your Dean? Pop it in here. What's one positive belief that you have that you believe others do not yet believe?
A positive belief. This might seem too generic, but maybe it's because I'm 51, because I've been an entrepreneur since 15. I've never worked for anybody in my entire life. And that's not because I came from money. It's a complete opposite. But in high school, I used to cut firewood. Actually, in 8th grade, I sold bubble gum. 10th and 11th grade, I started a firewood business. I bought an old chainsaw, I chopped trees, deliver cords of wood. Then I started buying wrecked cars. And so I never worked for anybody in my life. So just know that transition. But I've been around long enough to know that one of the greatest things, I'm going to give 2 answers to that. One is, I promise you, your beliefs. If you're watching me right now, if you say, I want to go to another level, this COVID thing, it's been chaotic, and I recognized I want to shift my life. I don't want to go back to my old me. I don't want to go back to that old job. I don't want to go back to, letting someone else run my life, or whatever it is that you've recognized. Beliefs are the most powerful thing. Like if someone said you could go back and talk to your 17-year-old self, I would teach on beliefs. So whoever posted that, exceed your potential, great question. Because at this phase, if you told me this in my 20s, I'd be like, you've been living in California too long, right? Like it just wouldn't have sunk in that the only thing standing between you and where you want to go is the belief you have on why you can or can't get there. And I know you've heard that a million times. It's like, it's personal development 101, but man, sometimes it doesn't stick to your ribs until you hear it from someone. I'm telling you, the only thing that got me through was my beliefs. And the times I stumbled and stressed and failed, it was my beliefs. It had nothing to do with the government or the president or the economy or the people around me, or if my family supported me or not, or if I had money or not. It had to do with my beliefs and then being innovative and being resourceful. So those 3 things, belief, innovation, and resourcefulness will take you everywhere. But the question was, because I didn't even answer, is what is the one belief you have that you believe others don't have yet? If you haven't been through hell and back and found that your success lives on the other side of your worst fears, your biggest obstacles, the belief is that I truly believe that anything. I truly do. I believe, I didn't have a great relationship, and I'll take responsibility for it in the past. And I got a divorce years ago. But I found a new belief that there could be real connection, real love, real soulmate. And I started believing that every day. And I attracted the love of my life. We've been together 3 years. Every day we fall more in love. We have a new baby. Like, it's amazing because I shifted my beliefs on that. I believed that someday I'd be partners with Tony Robbins, the guy who inspired me 25 years ago when I bought his course off an infomercial. Tony and I talk 7 times a day. We have 3 companies we started now. I'm busy every day of my life because of that belief that someday that was going to happen. And I just wish someone would have shaken me earlier in my life and say, shift those beliefs, get rid of it. Even all the stuff going on in the world, Evan, I believe if we all shift our beliefs just 10%, we could solve all the problems. But anyway, I went way long on one little question.
Oh, no, I love it. And for anybody watching, it's easy to see Dean in this environment, and he's so comfortable in front of the camera and making all these videos and ads and everything else. But I got to hang with him kind of behind the scenes and spend days with him and his wife, and he lives it. He lives it, right? Still holding hands, still making time, still maybe not coming out at night with everybody else because he's got to go, chooses to go be, with his wife. And so that's a super huge inspiration. She was like the only one who's backstage. When Dean's on stage, she's backstage. All the other speakers that I see, they're just by themselves, but there's Dean, with his wife, and they're always together. And so it's Dean's he's living it. From someone who's kind of seen behind the scenes, he's living it. Cool. To that question, I would just say, I think everybody's got Michael Jordan level talent at something. Like, you're the greatest in the world at something. You just have to believe in that and chase it down. How did you start changing that belief, Dean, for you? Like, that relationships were bad, or that I was going to go get Tony Robbins. Like, a lot of people have these big goals, ambitions for themselves, but then they have this moment of inspiration where they believe it, and then they wake up the next day and they don't believe it anymore. Like, how did you keep that consistent?
So I would love to say, there's a lot of answers that came to my head at one time, like obsessing on a compelling future, don't listen to the inner villain, like all those things come to my head at once. Like, I want to spit out. It's like I feel like I want to say 10 things at once. But I would say that one, I play little tricks on myself. Like I definitely hack my own emotions and my own thoughts. If you don't think okay, this is what I do every day of my life. I still feel like an imposter some days. You know, that's the new thing. I have an imposter syndrome. It's a new term, but I always felt scared to death and felt I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. How did I get in this room? Right? Why are these people are way smarter than me? Who invited me? Right? I still feel that way. Right? So know that those emotions will always be there. But I think if I look back, Evan, I think I do little things like looking back at the end of my life. At the end of your life, are you going to say, I'm glad that I played small and I didn't go for that dream because, man, if I went and I failed, that would have been horrible. No, at the end of your life, you're like, what the hell did I waste this for? Like, I was young. I was vibrant. I lived on earth. I had endless possibilities, and I let fear or I let complacency or I let procrastination stop me. Screw that. Like, I will do that to make myself disturbed. Evan, you know me. I still play as if I'm broke and I'm 10 points down. I do. I hustle like I can't make my mortgage payment. It's because I found a way to, I know the impact I want to make. I know the success I want to achieve. I feel like if we're not climbing, we're sliding. Like Tony says this elegantly, like we're really put on this earth for growth and contribution, right? It's like, man, last year we provided 6 million meals. I donated $500,000 to help kids in slavery. Like each $1,500 saves a child. Like I didn't say that to brag. My whole point is find two things. Look at the side if you don't take action. Like, don't just say, oh, if I do this, I can have freedom. If I do this, I can have more money. If I do this, I can do better things for my family, my children. You got to look at the other side too, Evan. You got to look at what if you don't? Like some of you are going to be more motivated by if you don't than if you do. Because all I know is if I don't do this, I could go back to where I'm not in control of my time, where I can't coach Little League, where I can't coach softball, where I can't spend extra time with my wife, where I can't be a good leader, where I can't have new kids, have new babies that I can be home with. Like, take that away from me, take away my life. So I'll fight like I'm broke. I'll fight like an underdog. Yeah, anyway, that's a long answer to a short question.
Cool. Okay, next one. Reject Mediocre. I like the name. Says, what has been your biggest challenge on social media?
Biggest challenge on social media? Staying consistent. There's some days you're busy as heck. So listen, social media has a million different variables. Like YouTube. This is my dear friend Evan knows YouTube better than anyone on the planet. And still, we can't find the time to focus on it. It's the reason it's not going. So sometimes it's just focus. But just know this. When you focus on something, things that get your attention grow and grow exponentially, right? If you think about it, if you're in good shape, it means you focus on what you eat and you go to the gym. Simple as that. You read books, you hear somebody give you a tip on working out, you do it because you're in the moment, right? If you want to grow your social media, if you want to make more impact, you learn from Evan and people like that. It's all about getting your focus and attention. I don't think there's a big challenge except for time. And Instagram is something let's just put it this way. Because Instagram is easier for me. Every day I can just hit the button and go live and deliver value. In the last 2 years, we went from 30,000 followers. We just passed 1 million, right? Because it's getting my time, attention, focus. I'm consistent. I go in there every day. On the opposite side, YouTube, I just haven't been completely focused and it's doing great, but it's not growing like this. But if I put that same focus on YouTube, my YouTube channel would grow. So that's my biggest challenge is just finding the time and partnering with Tony and writing books and being a new dad and a new husband and 5,000 other things. And that's why the one answer to that has nothing to do with social media is truly, truly find the things in your life that matter and do more of it, and find the things that don't matter. Like at the end of your life, you'd be like, why did I waste my time? And do less of it. As simple as that. When people ask me how I do it all, I know what's important to me. And I spend my time in those important places.
Well, I was speaking to your team last week about YouTube again, so gave us some tips. I'm excited to see
you're the best, dude.
Come on, Dean, we got this. So I was reading Traffic Secrets by our friend Russell Brunson, and he mentioned you in the book and how he came and looked at all your ads and how the only difference he saw was that you were making 2 to 3 ads a day and he was doing an ad a week or something, and just you never know which ad is going to hit. And one of the things that I admire about Dean is that he gets he's very productive, but he's also very intentional with how he's spending his time. So when everybody's taking a break in Puerto Rico, there's Dean recording an ad, like walking down the beach, making another ad. He's like, I got 5 minutes to do something. I'm going to use that 5 minutes instead of wasting that 5 minutes. And so I looked at that. I was like, man, I need to. I feel pretty productive as a human, but I got inspired by that as well. So hey, if you can find time to make ads, I can find time to make more videos as well. But I agree, consistency, right? I mean, it took me 5 years to get to 7,000 subscribers, and then another 5 years to get to 2 million. And I didn't take it seriously and all this stuff at the beginning. But in the daily videos coming up, especially in a platform like YouTube, Instagram is a lot more of the moment. YouTube is a lot more of my videos from 4 years ago are still getting me views. So if you have a lifelong kind of ambition, drive, brand, it's picking the platform that makes the most sense for you too.
Yep.
Ooh, I like this one here. How do I improve my confidence?
Okay, great question. Confidence is so important. One of the things we have to protect if you want more out of life is our confidence. And what I would say is, how do you improve your confidence is to identify the things that rob your confidence. Okay, this is going to show my brilliance, Evan. You ready for the deep, wisdom-filled?
Here it comes.
Decide what takes away your confidence and do less of it. Look at that. Brilliance here on a Thursday. No, there are things that subconsciously or consciously take your confidence away. I just want to know something. Let me ask you. It sounds silly, but when is the last time, if you're on right now, when's the last time you watched the news and got done and your confidence went up? Ever in the history of the world. When's the last time you tortured yourself by talking to your friend or your family member that tells you you're a dreamer, that you should get real, that's not the way the economy is, not in this world. There's too many people online. You can never be in this business. You're not going to grow your following. When's the last time you had a conversation with them and you left and you had more confidence, right? When is the last time you worked on one of your weaknesses, right? There's something you suck at, but you force yourself to work on it because you think you should be better. Sorry, calling it out here on a Thursday. If you suck at something, forget it. Go get great at something you're already good at and pay someone to do that. So what I'm saying is there's things like watching the news, talking to negative people, working on your weaknesses, inner self-talk,